So with that said, let's take a comfortable seat. And I will close my door so Gus doesn't decide to join us mid-race. So as you sit, and I invite you to maybe start in Sukhasana, maybe Siddhasana, which is what I am sitting in, the slightly wider seat. It is whatever right now brings you comfort, where you feel like the knees are relaxed. So that's why Siddhasana, being a little bit wider seat when the knees are down. When Sukhasana, where the legs are out further, the knees will be up, but then the weight of the knees actually resting on our feet. The heel on one leg and the front of the foot on the other, respectively, creating a little stool. Rocking your seat from side to side and sensing your sits bones and creating an evenness across. And then also rock the pelvis back and forth. A little lifting, rocking, and just feeling that evenness again. So you're sitting right at the tip of the sits bones, not on the back, not on the front, and evenly. And from here, we can begin to create lifting upward, rolling the shoulders up, and then slide the shoulder blades down the back and draw them onto the back ribs. It's a gentle anchor. It's not a harsh event, but it maintains an openness of the heart center. Allow there to be some gentle neck movements. Just notice again, are there any restrictions today that might get in the way of your practice? Just honor. Maybe you slept in a funny way. Our head and neck are just along for the ride for the most part. So tending to all things below is really crucial. I invite you to close your eyes. And then I'll also invite you to turn your palms up and place your ring finger and middle index finger, here comes, and thumb together for chin mudra, sometimes called jhana mudra. So some teachers, some lineages are a little bit disagreeing which one is chin, which one is jhana. Or the only difference is palm facing up or down. And bring your awareness to your breath. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know I am breathing out. The first part of Thich Nhat Hanh's breathing poem. And when the chittas, that chatty mind, yoga chitta, nirodha, yoga is stilling of the chatty mind. Bringing our awareness to right to the tip of the nose and feeling the breath as it draws in and out. Sense of the sediment settling. Calmness moving in. And whatever chittas may have been present, allow them to fade away. So that we prepare for the practice by being completely clear from distractions and disruptions external distractions and disruptions, internal distractions and disruptions. Allow your hands to relax and open the eyes, and we'll bring the palms together. And we'll chant Om 3 times. Let's take a deep breath in. And releasing your hands down. And we'll start with some eye exercises. It's very simple eye exercises. Keeping your posture erect, lifted. Gaze straight forward, or the nose straight forward. But let's stretch the eyes to the right as far as they will go. And then to the left. Go from side to side. At each side, just pause and stretch a little extra. And then next time you come back to center, just gently close the eyes. And then open the eyes and look up and down, up and down. Stretch again at each point, end point. When you come back to center, again, close the eyes gently. If you're wearing glasses, I invite you to remove the glasses before we do the palming. So we'll bring the palms together, rubbing them together, creating heat. And then cup the eyes. And let the energy, the heat from the hands, both produce warmth for the eyeballs. So it's a complete darkness. Gently blink the eyes. And then gentle facial massage. Running around the eyes, the temples, under the eyes, jaw. Behind the ears and the neck, back of the neck. And I think we are ready to get jiggy. We'll start with the Kapalabhati practice, which is a cleansing practice and not really a breathing practice. You can stay in Sukhasana or whatever posture is comfortable for you, or come to sit in Varasana, Thunderbolt, or Virasana. You can also, of course, do this seated on chairs. This is a great morning practice. It is a heating practice. I'm placing one hand on the lower abdomen. And as you exhale, forcefully pull the stomach back so the breath is expelled. Let the in-breath be passive. Feeling that sharp contraction. So I'm looking at everybody's bellies. And find a rhythm that is comfortable for you. A really good practice right now with the fall coming and the fall allergies, because it helps clear out all of the gunk from our sinus passages. Finishing after the next one, and then let your breath return to neutral. The breathing practice that is aligned or attached to the pelvis, the second chakra, is Ujjayi pranayama. So Ujjayi breath is that gentle restriction of the glottis. As you breathe in and out, it's nice to start with the fog event where you are pretending to fog up a mirror, and you'll feel this restriction. And then closing the mouth. It's like, I think of this as a little precursor to Brahmari breath, where we hum, but we haven't quite made it strong enough for humming. So breathing in and breathing out with Ujjayi. And we'll interlace our fingers and take them to the top of the head. And with the Ujjayi breath, as you inhale, stretch the palms up. And exhale, returning the hands to the head. And again. And returning the hands. One more time. Stretching up. Slide the hands to the back of the head. Take the elbows together. So the first part gets the top part of the lungs. Now we're going to work on this middle part of the lungs. As you inhale, spread the elbows and feel a spreading across the rib cage. So inhaling. Ribs expand. And one more time. And then last, we'll move the hands down to the lower part of the abdomen, below the belly button, for the diaphragmatic breathing. Again, I like to breathe in and out with Ujjayi pranayama. Belly expand and softens back as you exhale. One more time. And then letting go. And come onto your back body. Have your strap nearby. And as you recline, nothing says fluidity more than Baxter. So that's where we're starting today. So with the legs out straight, we'll start with the arms down alongside the hips. And as you inhale, we'll take the arms up overhead. Press out through the heels. And let's begin. On the next out breath, let's take the right knee in. Take it to the side. Exhale, give it to your left hand and twist. Inhaling back to center. Press up through the heel. And exhale, hug the knee back in. And inhale, full body stretch. Left side, hug the knee in as you exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, head comes down as we take the leg out to the side. Give the knee to your right hand and twist to the right side. Left arm stays down. Interlace the fingers behind And press up through the heel. Exhale, hug the knee in and stretch out. Repeating with the right. Exhale, hugging in. Take the knee to the side and across. And we'll return to center. Take the heel to the sky. Hugging in. And again, stretching out. Moving at a pace that's comfortable for you as we continue with the left. Hugging in, catch the knee. Take it across. So the arms does not have to be overhead. They can be out to the side. It is wherever it is comfortable for your body today. We'll do it one more time. So we'll have done 3 on each side. Enjoying the movement. Friend your body. We are not here to take hostages. And as you come to the conclusion of the left side, so you've done both sides 3 times, bookending with another full body stretch, and then take the arms down and bend up the knees. Now, inhaling, arch the pelvic forward so the low back contracts, and exhale, flatten. Going back and forth, inviting mobility between L5 and S1. But as you rock back and forth, notice the head rocks along here too. Chin and tailbone ideally travels together. They are connected via the spine. And then when you return to neutral next time, just let that go. We'll take the right leg in. Nope, I take that back. I'm going to do bridge pose first. Let's get a little heat in the hamstrings. So with the heels in as close as comfortable. Lift and spread the toes. This is where this pose begins, and stretch the toes forward. And then lifting the hips and lower the hips. You can take the toes down. They don't have to stay up, but keep the 4 corners of the feet well balanced. Inhaling up and exhale, lowering down. Do that one more time. Inhaling, lifting up. Now squeeze. This time I invite you to stay up. And here we can sneak in maybe a little bit more height by lifting the heels. That disengages the hip flexors a little bit more. Plant the heels back down. And breathe. Breathing. So now the glutes are turned on. And to get the hamstrings a little bit more fired up, press the heels down and pull the heels towards your shoulders. Pull the heels towards your shoulders. Press the arms down, press the arms down. And slowly come down. Let the back body melt into the mat. And now let's take the right knee in so we can strap the right foot. Prasupta Padangustasana. Sometimes we make a loop. Today I invite you just to hold the strap. You can wrap the strap around the hands if your hands gets grippy. Now with the sacrum, center on the sacrum and centered on the back of the head. Slide the left leg out. Keep awareness of these two places. Straighten the right leg completely. Straighten the right knee completely. So it has the quadriceps engaged. Let's bend the right knee and then press up through the strap. Press up through the strap. And we'll bend it again. And straighten. So there's a place before we hyperextend where the front of the thigh is really, really firm. Straighten the leg, straighten the leg, straighten the leg. Pressing up through the heel. And from here, we'll take the straps into the left hand, right thumb to the outer right hip. Anchor it down as we take the leg just across the center line. So keep the hip moving down, away from the shoulder, away from the shoulder. And we'll come back to center. Now take the left knee in. Let the foot just hang on the left. It's hanging, but it's our counterweight. I really, really like this variation of Parsva, Supta Padangustasana, Parsva to the side, where we let the left leg balance the right. So stay centered on your sacrum. Now pay attention to, as you take your legs away from the midline, that your sacral position is not changing. So that we're not torquing this delicate joint. It's a big, thick bone, the sacrum, but the joint itself, it's like these little saw teeth that have to match just so. So if you find that you get a burning sensation or low back pain after some poses, it may be burn sensation in your low back above the crack. It may be that the sacrum is getting a little taut. So here we can counterbalance the weight. Now we'll take the legs back up again. Take the strap off the right foot. Keep the left leg up. Now as you exhale, press the low back down and slowly lower the right leg down towards the floor. It's not going to touch. Keep the low back pressing down. Keep the low back pressing down. It's going to be a little hovercraft on the right. And on an in-breath, we're going to take the leg all the way up. And let's do that again. Slowly, and that can take more than one breath. Lower the leg down. Draw the lower abdomen in and up, in and up. And take the leg all the way up. But one more time. So UPP, Urdhva Prasarita Padottanasana. Upward leg pose. Hover, hover, and take the knee back up, bend the knee, and place the right foot down, and we're going to strap the left leg. So with the left leg out, let's keep the right knee bent for now. And we're going to bend, bend the left knee, and then slowly straighten it. And feel how that firms the kneecap, And you can take your hand to the thigh and feel that everything is well engaged. We're going to release a little bit again. And straighten it again. Go back and forth. Back and forth. Press the knee back, but keep the muscles engaged. So a sense of hugging the thigh bone into the socket. Let's do it one more time. Straightening, straighten, 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 straighten. So taking care that you're not pulling. Can y'all see me on the camera right now? So this position where the leg is straight up, very firm, I get more hamstring back my butt than I do here. And it's sneaky. We don't even notice that the knee begins to bend. So take the leg back to perpendicular. Maintain that little arch in the low back so you're still centered on the sacrum and the back of the head. If the low back begins to flatten, you might have gone too far. Now let's straighten out the right leg. And then we begin to work the pose. So keep the knee straight. It's sneaky. So I have a much better view than you do. I know, because I can see you from the side. Inhale and exhale. Hug the hip into the socket. And this is what makes this an osteoporosis pose. That hip engagement, firm hip engagement, and firm knee engagement. Soften a little bit as you inhale. And then again, hug, 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 into the socket. Pressing up through the heel, so with all the muscles of the thigh wrapping around bone. And we are ready to take the strap into the right hand. Left thumb draws the outer left hip down. And we'll take the leg just across the center line. Keep drawing the hip down to the iliotibia, the outer hip. Release. And we come up to center. Let's draw the right knee in. Take the strap into the left hand. And again, equidistant. Legs away from the center line. Equidistant. So while we are tending to the left, because that knee is straight, so the adductors, the inner thigh muscles that crosses over the knee, in addition to the inner quads and hamstrings, getting a little bit more length here. Oh, it's so good, and it stays centered on the sacrum. Don't begin to tip to one side, so you control. You control. We're going to take the leg back to center and take the strap off the left foot. Let's take the arms down alongside. As you exhale, draw the low back towards the floor. So we anchor this upper part of the psoas and lower your left leg down. And lift it back up again. Go back and forth. Now notice the sensation you have under the low back that should stay unchanged. Lowering, back is pressing down. And lifting. And one more time, lowering. This one will be our keeper, holding it at a height that you can control. Low back presses down, low back presses down. Breathe. We're putting a little bit of length on the psoas, length and tone. Let's take the leg all the way up. And bend the knee and take the legs down to the floor. Whew. Arch and flatten here. Let's balance both sides out. And then let's place our left ankle across the right knee. Figure four pose. We'll take the right knee in. and lower it back down again. So don't use your hands. Draw the knee in and down. And then we'll hold the knee in. Again, can you do it without the hands? Draw your left knee away from the shoulder and then relax. We're working the piriformis. And of course, I know you can all hear me. Flex your left ankle. Keep that flexed. Flexing the left ankle. And now catch. Take your left foot and knee. So right hand, left foot, left hand, left knee. Take your right leg to the sky again. And now slowly lower the right leg to the floor. Reaching it out, reaching it out, reaching it out, and land it. So here's Supta Ekapada Rasha Kapotasana. This is our pigeon pose, but without knee thingy. So we can now look at how close is my torso to my shin. And if we come closer when we are in the opposite, we may be putting some undue strain on our knee joint. It's the weakest link. We'll take the right leg up again. Let's bend it and place the right foot down. And we'll switch. I think that is a lovely way to do pigeon pose, king pigeon. Now let's go ahead and get started on the other side. Moving the knee in, back and forth. Keep your right ankle flexed. And then we'll keep it in now. And then draw the knee away from the right shoulder. Right knee away from the right shoulder. And you can feel that little extra something in your outer right hip. Now keep the knee drawing down and catch the foot and the knee with your hands. We'll take the left leg up and slowly lower the left leg down. Notice your right foot. Is it sickling? Keeping your ankle balanced as you reach out through the left leg, reach out through the left. And slowly take the left leg up. And bend the knee, and we'll deliver the right foot down and down. And full body stretch. And let's bend up the knees. And roll over onto one side. We're going to spin it about and come into puppy pose for our measurement for downward facing dog. So now I invite you to have your blocks at the top of the mat. Then they're right where we want them when we need them. We'll draw the hips back. Bring the shoulders over the wrists and lift into our dog. Bend the knees and then take the hips a little wiggling about. And from here, we can begin to straighten the legs again. Keep the quads engaged. So last week we did the block squeeze. Now pretend you have the block between the thighs here so that you're pressing the knees towards one another, towards that imaginary block as you keep the hips high, high, super high. And then inhale, let's come forward to plank pose. Powerful legs. And we'll take the knees down, release the tops of the feet onto the floor, and then we'll lower all the way down. And here you can support the head on a blanket or you'll simply on your mat. Take the hands down alongside the hips. And then inhale, lifting your right leg and the head. Right leg and head. Arms comes up too. It feels better. And come down. Left leg. And down. Take the arms out to the sides. Let's lift the right again. Head, arms, and right leg. And lower. And one more time. Lift. And lower. Take the hands under the shoulders. And lift into cobra pose. Cobra pose. Press back to puppy. And we'll take the shoulders over the hands again. And go back to dog. From here, as you inhale, look up and we'll step the right foot up between the hands. So a high lunge. And here I invite you to take the blocks. Either side of the foot. Lengthen back through your left heel. And then contract the muscles around bone in your left leg. So here's a leg strengthening event, but it doesn't provide a lot of psoas, hip flexor event at this point. So to do that, we have to walk the hands up to the knee. Now things are beginning to happen. And then take a hand onto your belly, right about your belly button. So this is about the height, solar plexus, where the psoas is attached. So to begin to get some length on that hip flexor, we actually need to lift the lower abdomen away from the thigh. Lower abdomen lifts away from the thigh. So your left glute is working really hard, helping you with that. And then breathing, lifting. Maybe take the hands out, maybe all the way up. Tall. Urdhva. Now we'll take the hands down. We'll move the blocks out of the way and come back to downward facing dog again. Whew. Inhale forward to plank pose. Lower abdomen drawing in and up. And exhale back to our dog. Hips high, legs firm, heels pulling back. And then looking up on the inhalation. And we'll step the left foot all the way up. Again, taking the hands to the block. That was plural. Firming up the back leg, firming up the back leg. So this is the leg that we're also going to visit with, this engagement in the next couple of poses. Swap the hands to the knee again. Keep firm, super firm in the back. Begin to lift the belly away from the thigh. You can use your hands so that we're not overarching the low back. Right glute, it is on. And then here, hands can stay on the knee. The arms can come to the side, maybe to the sky. Yep. Breathe. And take the hands down. Step the right foot up to the left, forward fold. And then inhale, half forward fold. Now step the feet close together, but move the blocks forward. So you're in a standing tabletop. Standing tabletop. And then lift the left leg up. Keep that leg firm. Now bend the right knee a little bit. Bend the right knee. So now it feels like we're kind of in a lunge again. Check that your toes are pointing straight down on your left leg. Firm leg, firm leg. If it's available, you'll straighten the right leg and take the right arm forward. Standing. Almost warrior three, but we'll call this spinal balance. And we'll take the hand down, release the left leg back down. Shake that out a little bit. That's asking a lot of the legs. So we are now standing tabletop. And we'll come back to the flat back. So hands on the high blocks. My hips are over my heels. Shifting the weight to the left leg. And the right leg goes back. And up. Bend the left knee a little bit. So take your mind to the sacrum. Remember the back of the head and the sacrum, ideally on the same plane-ish. As you power up the right leg, pressing out through heel, maybe straightening the left knee. So everything is hugging in around center in the hips, the low back. And maybe take the left arm forward. Maybe take the left arm forward. It's a big maybe. Breathe. Powerful. And lower arm, lower leg. And we're going to shake that one out again. I'll take the feet a little bit wider. And then inhale, looking up. Lift the sits bones. And then exhale, fold forward, folding forward. Hands can come to the floor, they can stay on the blocks. But after our one-sided pose, we want to do something that balances both sides of the body. Then inhale, half forward fold again. We'll take the feet closer together. Well, we nailed that one, didn't we? Let's take the left foot all the way up to the top of the mat and step the right back, spin the heel down. So we'll have a little fun with warrior two first. So let your right arm just sweep you up and back. Let's see here. I'll mirror y'all. I think we got it. So left knee is over the left ankle. Right leg super firm. And of course the four corners of each foot well grounded. Take your hands to the hips. Now with the left hip, dip it down towards the left thigh. That's our side angle pose. Now lifting the hip back up again so the pelvis is balanced left to right. And you may feel this in your inner groins. Draw the tailbone down, draw the tailbone down. And it may feel better to straighten the knee out a little bit. So when we come super deep into a pose, that can actually pull us even further out of the alignment of the pose. So here you're still employing mountain pose. Lifting left pelvis up from the thigh. Lifting it up, lifting it up. And we'll take the left arm up, reaching it up, reaching it up, reaching it up. And now take it out over I'll let my forearm, elbow come to the inner knee. Back leg, it is firm. Maybe right arm comes up over. Breathing, breathing. Hugging in around the pelvis, the hips, to midline. And then inhale, press into the feet all the way up. We're going to turn the feet opposite. So before we bend the front knee, take your hands again to the hips. Because it's sneaky, all these rubber bands. So as you bend and straighten your right knee, notice as you bend the knee, are you dipping the hip down? Bend and straighten, but keep your spine vertical, like the tall mast on your ship. And let's hold it here. Hold, but lift your right hip up. And it can be helpful to take the arm up high. Reaching, reaching, reaching. So the knee is bent, if it feels okay. I keep my whole right side long as I lean it out over. Take the forearm, elbow to the inner knee, and maybe the other arm over, or wrap the other arm behind. So the whole left side of the body is still in mountain pose. Legs are firm. Hips are firm. And let's spin it towards the floor. So I think we're still facing towards the top of the mat. We'll step back through downward facing dog. Realigning. And then looking up as you inhale and walk or step the feet towards the front of the mat. We're back in our forward fold, Uttanasana. Moving into our half forward fold, the flat back. And now here things are going to get a little bit interesting. Now watch, and then I'll talk everybody through it. Half moon pose, so you may like to find a wall too. Blocks are nice, so let me just show the block of the foot. The block is not in front of the foot, it is slightly out to the side, because that will help me balance. It is about a foot-ish in front. So where I want to begin this pose is simply again the leg length that we did before. I still have my other hand down, but now I begin to open the hip, same as we just had in side angle, and that was warrior two. And then maybe take the arm to the sky. Gaze can be down, that might be easier to balance. It can be out to the side. To come out, I'll take the arm down and then the leg down. All right, let's see what happens. So you'll start maybe alongside a wall, and then you'll take your hands to the blocks. And I'm standing tabletop, so I'm having a peek-see here at everybody. And from our standing tabletop, flat back, flat back. Have your block a little bit forward on your left side. The right leg will go up first and out to the side. And then take the right leg up. Just lift it up as we did before in our warrior three. Let's begin the pose here. And then you begin to lift the hip. So that is where the pose is, sort of the impetus of the pose, the center. The foot will follow and the torso will follow as we begin to lift upward. Keep the four corners of the standing leg well grounded. Powerful lifted leg, powerful lifted leg. And let's take the arm down to the block, to the floor, take the leg down. Uttanasana. Well done, Well done. And setting up for the other side, move the block a little bit out to the side of the right hand. Lift the left leg. Once the left leg is up, you can bend the right knee a little bit. That may give you a little bit more access in the hip. You need to lift the hip up, lift the hip. The foot's gonna have to follow. Lifting the hip, lift the hip, and then really begin to take the arm to the sky. There we go. It's a lot. Pull the hip up, 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 up. And when you're ready, take the top arm down, take the leg down. Back in Uttanasana. Forward fold. Allowing your hands to either stay on the block or come to the floor if that's comfortable for your body. Let's look up one more time. Flat back, and then here, folding forward. Keeping the weight forward on the feet so that the hips are over the ankle, not shifting back behind. One more breath. And then looking up as you inhale, and we're going to travel onto our back. Boom. And as you come onto your back body, let's pause. You're going to need a block, so I should have said that, shouldn't I? You're going to bend up the knees, lift the hips, and take the low block, low. A supported bridge pose, and you may like to stay here. Let the sacrum be balanced evenly on the block, so not at the top. So this is a little bit of a back bend. Remember from last week, this is shoulder stands, close relative. Let's draw the knees in. Take the feet to the sky. So keeping the back bend, shoulder blades are drawing together, inviting a little chin lock. So chin draws towards the chest. Take the legs wide. Take the legs wide. Reach out through the big toe mount, the inner ankles. Reach. Breathe. You'll bend the knees and you'll bring the soles of the feet together. Baddha Konasana, bound ankle. Keep the back bend. Draw the knees together. We'll go all the way up again. Press up through the heels. Take the legs wide. Reaching out through big toe mount, inner heels. Bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet together. Baddha Konasana. And draw the knees together, straighten the legs. Reaching up through the heels. And then we'll bend the knees. And we'll place the feet down slowly, gently. And let's make sure that our sacrum is in a happy place and all these little teeth have locked in just right. And this is why we do the glute squeeze. As you inhale, press the heels down, squeeze the buns, and relax. And repeat. Pressing down, squeeze, and relax. One more. And then lift just enough to take the block out. And release into Shavasana. Pressing up through the heels. And placing your body in a way that feels supportive, comfortable. Invite an intention for your Shavasana. It can be an intention to allow yourself to relax completely now without any thoughts disturbing you. It can also be a more long-term intention, sankalpa, for something that you wish, a change you wish to create in your lives, in your life. Whatever, short or long term, hold that intention in your heart space for 3 breaths. I am. Say it as if it has already happened. And gently begin to deepen your breath. Maybe wiggling fingers and toes. Bend up the knees. Allow your knees to rock gently from side to side. Eventually, rolling all the way over onto your right or left side if that feels better for your body. Using your arms and hands, press into the floor and come up into a seated posture. We'll bring our palms together. Thumbs gently touching the sternum. We'll close with Om Shanti, 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 Om. Let's take a deep breath in. Om Shanti, 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 Om. Exhale and bow your head towards your heart. May the energy of peace spread to the furthest corners of our lives, our world, and also into the darkness that may be in our heart space. Let it too be illuminated. And we'll draw the gaze up. Namaste. Thank you.